We are close to witnessing the biggest backstabbing in the US corporate history, because by June 13, Elon Musk is facing a $56 billion dilemma.
We're trying to lead a vote of shareholders against this $56 billion executive compensation package.
This is by far the biggest decision that Tesla will ever communicate to its shareholders. It is much more important than the number of cars delivered, than the earnings per share or any other financial metric. It is even more important than the FSD progress, because if things go south, Tesla might never achieve full self-driving. And more importantly, if Tesla doesn't hold its end of the bargain, this might be it for Elon Musk.
If the vote goes against Mr. Musk, it may well be the case that Mr. Musk decides that he's going to move on to other pastures.
But this time, unlike any other decision taken before, it will not be for the company to decide. This is the sole responsibility of the Tesla shareholders to make the right call. But firstly, how did we get here? It all started on January 31st, when a judge in Delaware issued a shocking decision.
A judge voiding Elon Musk's $56 billion pay package at Tesla.
The compensation package was created 6 years ago, when Tesla was going through a rough period. In 2018, Tesla had 400,000 pre-orders. To meet deliveries expectations, Tesla would need to manufacture 5,000 cars per week. Still, the company could only produce less than 2,000.
The Model 3 was expected to be in mass production by the end of 2017. It wasn't.
It was a disaster, and so you had for a year production hell, where Tesla was struggling to just build these cars for all these people who had deposits down.
This was the period when Elon Musk was truly battle-tested. The company needed to ramp up manufacturing for the Model 3, and they needed to do it fast. This period became known as the production hell, and because of Elon's ambitious targets, he became, as some employees put it, an unapproachable tyrant.
Everybody lives in fear of him, particularly in the last year. He used to have a bunch of senior people who would keep him in line, who would keep him from erupting. They all left, and he became unleashed, and things went nuts.
He was always a mad genius, but he was about 95% genius and 5% mad.
But there is one thing that Elon Musk always did. He always put 100% of himself into Tesla, and this was more evident than ever in 2018.
When things get really intense, I don't have time to go home and shower and change, so I just sleep here.
We have seen him at the end of the line wearing a Tesla t-shirt and steel-toe boots and his safety glasses and bump cap, working with the people, doing the physical labor. He was there so often working on the cars just to make them right and to make sure that they were as good as they could possibly be and that production was working. He was there all the time. He slept there, and it was true.
The 18 months between the summer of 2017 and the end of 2018 were the toughest in Tesla's history, with employees openly speaking against management and Elon Musk himself becoming frustrated by the immense difficulty of the task at hand. It got so bad that Elon contemplated surrendering as he tried to sell Tesla to Apple, but unfortunately Tim Cook wasn't interested in the meeting. This was the period that Elon Musk will forever remember.
People should not work this hard. They should not do this. It's very painful.
Painful in what sense?
It hurts my brain and my heart.
On the other hand, the board of directors knew they had to persuade Elon Musk to keep going. And the best solution to keep Elon focused was to offer him a great compensation package. That's why they came up with the biggest compensation package ever offered to a corporate CEO.
It could be perhaps the most radical compensation plan in history. Musk's compensation is going to be tied directly to the company's performance. The executive will receive no guaranteed compensation of any kind at all. He gets no salary, cash bonus, equity. He only gets equity that vests over time, but only if he reaches these hurdle rates, which are, dare I say, crazy.
But the targets needed to approve the plan were so far-fetched that at the time it seemed like Elon Musk would probably get nothing.
If somehow, magically, he would get the company to $650 billion, which is literally what the plan calls for, if you can believe this, he would collect the equivalent of about $55 billion in compensation. Otherwise, he gets absolutely nothing.
What if you get it?
At that time, Tesla was worth $53 billion, but the company was burning cash at a fast pace. Considering the manufacturing hell, critics were talking about the bankruptcy of Tesla. Even Elon Musk admitted years later that Tesla was about 1 month away from going bankrupt.
Tesla really faced a severe threat of death due to the Model 3 production ramp.
To reach the target of $650 billion, the market capitalization would need to grow 12-fold. It seems almost impossible, right? But somehow, Elon Musk did it.
We all sat here in 2018 and said, this is absolutely bonkers. The chances of him ever hitting these numbers just is beyond the pale, and yet then he did it.
Once manufacturing of the Model 3 was ramped up, in just a couple of years, Elon delivered on all 12 targets, and Tesla hit a market capitalization high of $1.2 trillion, or about 22 times more than in 2018. As a result, Elon Musk became the world's richest person, and all the other Tesla shareholders benefited as many became wealthy. But now, after 6 years, in a shocking turn of events, this compensation package was voided. The judge decided that in 2018 the Tesla board was controlled by Elon and that the compensation package was unfair to shareholders who were not fully informed of key details. So now the Tesla board initiated a new vote to restate the same compensation package and moreover to move Tesla's headquarters to Texas. But this vote is, as some put it, a vote of confidence for Elon.
The vote could, quote, be seen as a referendum on how much Tesla needs Musk going forward.
If Musk is no longer viewed as central to the story going forward, then I think Tesla starts to trade like a car company as opposed to, an extension of Elon Musk.
But when I first heard about it, the situation was so clear that I didn't even look into it. I assumed we'll just give Elon the things that he already earned, since he achieved his goals and then some. But then I read what other investors are thinking, and honestly, I was pretty shocked. So I wanted to understand why some shareholders would vote against the pay deal, because if you were a Tesla shareholder during the last 6 years, you've made the profits because of Elon's effort. But there are enough shareholders that would vote against Elon. For instance, a proxy advisory company just urged Tesla shareholders to reject Elon Musk's pay due to its excessive side, its dilutive impact, and its concentration of ownership. Moreover, a group of 8 shareholders are urging the voting against Tesla's CEO, citing a lack of independent directors. But for Tesla investors, this doesn't sound like anything new, because they knew what they were buying. That's why investors like Aswad Damodaran label Tesla as the corporate teenager.
I've always called it my corporate teenager, which is I add it with open eyes. I know it's going to do things that frustrate me. It's the nature of the company. It's the nature of how it's run.
But now it got worse than ever, because even people that supported Elon Musk have now turned against him. For instance, this billionaire, who in 2021 labeled himself as an Elon Musk fanboy, now calls Elon a tyrant CEO who has abandoned the car maker for his other companies. This billionaire went all in on Tesla calls in 2020 and made a fortune because the stock price of Tesla rose 1400%. But now, after he made billions thanks to Elon's work, he used his 27 million shares to vote against Elon's compensation package. And as a result of these votes, fear is in the air, and some Tesla investors are cautious about what would happen to the stock if the vote fails. That's why some Tesla bulls are selling a part of their holdings before June 13 in anticipation of a vote against Elon's compensation plan. So let's try to imagine what would happen if the vote fails. Is there a chance that Elon Musk would leave Tesla? Because at the end of the day, he has some other important ventures like SpaceX or XAI. Some investors believe that this scenario is not outside of the realm of possibilities. Remember, this vote would be a vote of confidence for Elon, And if it fails, that means that there are many silent shareholders who do not approve his leadership. And institutions only own 46% of Tesla. So it will be up to the retail shareholders to decide the fate of Tesla. So even if you like Elon or you hate him, if you hold Tesla shares, go vote. If you feel like you've learned anything of value or you want to see more videos like this one, please hit that like button and subscribe.